Okay, boys and girls, this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. So simple. Go to the App Store, download PrizePicks. You can pick more or less on your favorite players in the MLB, soccer, NBA, UFC, boxing. It's the best way to watch sports. In fighting, you can pick more or less on significant strikes, more or less on takedowns, more or less on fight time. Soccer, more or less on goalie saves. All sorts of stuff. It's a real fun way to watch sports, even if it's a few bucks. And March Madness coming up. They got a free square, and it's Johnny Broom. All he's got to do is score over 0.5 points, and you know that's a guarantee. It's a free square with Johnny Broom. And use code TIMBO when you sign up. New users place a $5 lineup, and then you'll get $50 instantly, no strings attached. I tell you what, if you think you know sports, this is the app to play on. So, hope you enjoy the show. Code TIMBO. Bye-bye. Okay, boys and girls, this episode is brought to you by SPADE, and it's 0 calorie, 0 sugar, all natural. There's 6 flavors: cola, yuzu lime, guava, blueberry acai, kiwi strawberry, Dr. Spade. There's only 6 ingredients, including water, sweetened with the most premium form of stevia on the market, and there's no bitter aftertaste. It's caffeine-free, dye-free, good to slurp one any time of the day. Added electrolytes for hydration benefit, just as healthy as a sparkling water and just as flavorful as a traditional soda. Now they're in Sprouts. Check out the link in the description and get yourself a good little slurp. Fire, I'm going to bust this intro out real quick.
All right, sounds good, bro.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again, and it's a beautiful day. I put my special shirt on for this interview. We're interviewing one of the great American-made fighters from the Pacific Northwest with a record of 17 wins and 0 losses. Now living in Florida, we got Colby Chaos Covington, and we only got about a little bit of time with him because he's about to ship off with the Tate brothers to NYC. So let's enjoy our time. Colby, thanks for coming, brother.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Hell yeah. When's the last time you had a run-in with the Tate brothers, or have you got to meet them yet?
Yes, so I actually had a run-in with them last weekend in Las Vegas at the Power Slap event, and then we went and did some gambling afterwards at the Red Rock Casino, and then, now we had dinner last night in Miami, and they're like, hey, you want to come on the private jet tomorrow with our boy Sean Rajan and go to NYC? I'm like, how could I turn that down?
100%. And those guys are pretty cool, huh? They're pretty easy to get along with. And Suge and I got to do a pod with Andrew when we were in Abu Dhabi, and just a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, cool dudes, smart dudes, just very humble, down-to-earth dudes. They're not what the internet seems to make them out to be, these villains. So, they're very, very intelligent and deeply intellectual human beings. And, I just think they've been unlawfully politically prosecuted, like they spoke their mind and they went against government tyranny, and that's what's backfired. Now the government's coming after them. So it's just really sad.
Yeah, it's a bunch of baloney, but I'm sure they'll get it handled. So being in Miami, how do you stay focused with all those butt cheeks around you?
Yeah, it's tough, but that's what motivates me, is to get some new butt cheeks. It's always nice to have a different butt cheek for each day of the week. And when you can do that, that's living the dream. So, but, goals and accomplishments come first before anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because that nightlife out there in Florida, when we went out there, it doesn't even start till about 3 a.m. That's when she starts picking up. So staying focused, staying on your grind is probably pretty tough. So do you do a good job at staying away from the drugs, or do you sometimes dabble and have a good time?
Nah, no, I'm a law-abiding citizen here in America. I'm a true patriot. And just like Trump told me, no drugs, no alcohol. I was too late to the party on the tattoos. I already had the tattoos, but I think 1 out of 3 is good. No drugs, no alcohol, and living that, patriot lifestyle.
Yeah, you've always been. So you've never really dabbled. Do you do much caffeine?
I do a little bit of caffeine. I do like a coffee every now and then in between training sessions. That always helps get me fired up. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I love the coffee, and in the nighttime, after I have a good day of getting what I need done, I do a little dabble in the marijuana just to shut the mind off and relax, maybe have a few snacks.
I'm sure you do some healthy snacks.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good stuff. And these days at Sprouts, you can do healthy snacks, get dialed in. So you're just getting back from Vegas now. You were helping out with the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, just getting back to Miami now from helping out my buddy Chael Sonnen on the Ultimate Fighter set for the last 5 weeks. That was a good productive time out in Las Vegas. It's always good to be around the UFC headquarters, the Performance Institute, and the Apex. So I had a great time in Las Vegas, but, now it's back to Miami and off to NYC.
Yep. So you've always been a cardio machine, and I heard from my buddy in college that you were a cardio machine in college. Did you always have that naturally, or do you do some sort of special conditioning?
I think it's just a natural talent, and a gift from God just to have an extra lung. I have that third lung to be able to push a little harder and push a little farther in practice. But, I feel like it really just stems from mindset and your work ethic every single day. I haven't cut corners. I took the long route to get to the top, and, I want to keep working hard every day and keep reaching new levels.
Mm-hmm. So for you, you had how many fights in the UFC before you kind of turned into a bigger name? What's some advice for some fighters that are just getting into the big show now to really make a name for themselves?
Yeah, I think it was about 8 or 9 fights that I really started to break through when I was in Brazil, and I went to Brazil, and I just said, I spoke my mind that night. I wasn't afraid what people were going to think of me. I said, hey, Brazil, you're a dump. All you people are filthy animals. They were filthy animals. They were grabbing my flag, saying, fuck your mother, saying, you vai morrer, you vai morrer. So they were telling me I was going to die, Tim. Like, that's not acceptable. That is absolute just hate crime. So, I had to dish it back out to them. If you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it. So.
So if you could take over the UFC for a full week or say a month, what's something you'd change right away?
I don't think I would change anything. I think the UFC, Hunter Campbell, Dana White, they're doing an amazing job with their business, and they give this amazing platform to us fighters, so people like me and Sean O'Malley can become stars in the game, and they're just, I love what they're doing. Yeah,
I agree. Making the big bread. So what kind of investments do you do? Do you mess around with the crypto much, or?
Yeah, I'm big into crypto. I'm all about cryptocurrency. I think, the functionality of it, I think it has great promise for the future. And I think we're going away from the dollar. The dollar is becoming, almost obsolete, and it's shrinking every day. So you want to put your money somewhere where it's going to keep growing. And I think cryptocurrency is that currency. What do you think?
I'm liking it. I'm liking it more and more. Probably my favorite and the most safe I feel is just with the Bitcoin. I don't really mess around with too many others. A little bit of Ethereum and the Bitcoin. How about you?
Yeah, same. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are the tokens that you can have belief and trust in its future. All the other coins, they're just meme coins. There's no functionality. So you can't trust a lot of coins out there. I think the most stable coin, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum.
Yeah, I agree. So how come, in your opinion, how come you don't see more Division I wrestlers transfer over to MMA? Because I'm sure you saw it on The Ultimate Fighter with whatever weight class they were doing. You probably know some guys, D1 wrestlers, that could have about 6 months training and go beat up half those guys. How come you don't think more transfer over?
I think, honestly, because probably half of the guys don't like getting punched in the face. It takes a special human being to be able to get punched in the face and laugh at it and keep moving forward. So I think half the wrestlers don't like to get punched in the face. And then probably the other 40% of the wrestlers that are like top wrestlers are being advised, hey, like wrestling, go to the Olympics, represent your country, represent the America, be an Olympic champion. So those 40% of those guys are, they have Olympic aspirations and they don't want to go to fighting. And then the other 10%, the outcasts like myself, know that MMA and the UFC is their only outlet to become a professional athlete and make actual money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. When I in my last fight, I broke my jaw pretty severely, like a clean break on my jaw. Had to be wired shut, clean shut for 8 weeks. Did you have to get your jaw wired shut?
No, I didn't have to get my jaw wired shut. Damn, that's tough. Which bone did you break?
Dude, I'm missing a tooth way back here that they pulled out on the reservation way long ago, and it was just right back here on my jaw, and it was just a clean break all the way, just hanging off my face.
Jesus, bro, you're a fucking warrior, dude.
God, It was
That's
gnarly.
savage shit.
So on your downtime, Colby, what kind of shows you watching? You watching documentaries, or you watching some Love Is Blind?
To be honest, man, I have not had a lot of downtime the last couple months. It's been just nonstop. So I haven't got a chance to watch any shows, but you know, if I had time to watch shows, I was big into Yellowstone. I like that country western type vibe. That means, you know, I love the farm life. What about you?
I mean, gosh, I like the documentaries. I could sit there and watch wrestling and jiu-jitsu and MMA videos all night. But my girlfriend, she likes some of the Love Is Blind stuff. So I take a little puff of my peace pipe and I watch it with her.
Totally understand that. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's the truth. So when you got done with college, how did Dan Lambert reach out and recruit you to ATT?
So when I got out of college, I hit up one of my college wrestling coaches in junior college, a guy named Troy Bennett. You know, a guy that coached Jon Jones. He coached Joe Soto, another title challenger in the UFC. He coached Cain Velasquez. So he had a good outreach to a lot of the MMA gyms. So he reached out to America Top Team, you know, told him who he was. He said, hey, I got this guy, Colby Covington, and he wants to go into MMA. So they brought me out on a recruiting trip with a couple other wrestlers, and they wanted to look at me, put me into sparring right away and see if I had what it takes. And, you know, my first day there, they loved what I had. You know, I was beating everybody up, even their UFC champions. And, you know, the rest was history. I went with the gym and, you know, built up my career from there.
I mean, that's pretty badass. So nowadays you're getting into streaming, and I see you on the Snapchat a bit. How are you liking the streaming?
I'm liking it. You know, it's something different, and you know, it's cool to connect with my fans through there. So, you know, I wanna be able to hear what the fans have to say, listen to this chat, and then just answer all their questions. And you know, I think the media is going away from MMA media and just mainstream media in general. It's being to voices like yourself, voices like Sean O'Malley, people like this in the space that are the real news and truth that people can listen to. So, you know, I've been loving the streaming. It's been awesome. Shout out to BC Game. They're the ones that got me involved in streaming. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing it.
How many hours a week are you streaming?
I'm streaming probably 6 to 8 hours a week.
6 to 8 hours a week. And that's Colby Covington on Twitch, right?
Yeah, Colby Cov MMA on Twitch.
Yeah, so go give him a peek. You can follow along with his streams. When you started getting your first paydays in the UFC, did you treat yourself? Like, I see you once in a while wearing the Cuban, and that's a nice looking Cuban. What other things did you treat yourself to?
When I first started making money in the UFC, you know, I just went and splurged on jewelry. I got about, you know, 500,000 in jewelry like right away. So, you know, I got like 3 or 4 Cuban chains. I bought like 3 or 4 Rolexes. You know, I had to get the presidential because I was the president's favorite fighter. And, you know, jewelry was my thing. Jewelry and like a nice car, you know, a brand new Bentley. That was like my big thing that I wanted to splurge on.
Yeah, those Latina and those Cuban ladies like that. They like that stuff, don't they?
They like that shit. Them South Beach mamacitas, bro. They just, if you got the nice lifestyle, you know, and the rich, expensive stuff, that's all they want to be a part of.
So what do you envision yourself doing in let's say 5-6 years? What do you envision yourself doing?
You know, 5-6 years, I really see myself, you know, heavily involved in politics, maybe in a Congress seat, maybe in a Senate seat, you know, fighting for the people. You know, like, that's what these politicians are paid to do, is to stand up and fight for the people. So, you know, I've done, my whole career is about fighting for myself and being selfish and building my own legacy. But, you know, I want to give back and I want to fight for the people in politics.
Sweet. That'll be a good time to watch. So Islam versus Topuria, that might be going down soon. Who do you got in that bout?
You know, I think, I don't know. I think Topuria might upset him. I think he has the ability to upset him. That first Makachev-Volkanovski fight was really close. A lot of people thought that Volkanovski won that fight. So, you know, I think the blueprint is out there for Makachev. And I didn't think he looked that good in the last fight versus Dustin. I mean, he looked beatable. He didn't look like invincible. So, you know, I think that'll be an interesting fight. Who do you got in that one?
Man, that one's tough. I mean, Ilia Topuria, he's got that wide boxing stance. He doesn't kick too much. I feel like Islam might be able to get in on a high crotch on him, put him on his back, end up in half guard, and then I think it's going to be a long night for Ilia Topuria. So rumor has it Islam's walking around at 195, 200 pounds, and I think the power and the size difference is going to be a problem once Islam gets on top of him.
Yeah, I think that'll be the key to the fight. Can Makhachev get him to the ground, or is Topuria slippery enough to get away? Because he did get taken down in a couple of his fights. So,
Okay, boys and girls, hope you're enjoying the show. This video is brought to you by VIIA. Okay, VIIA gives you the freedom to blaze your own trail, and the best part is they are American made and ship right to your door all across the US, whether you're recovering from a hard jiu-jitsu session or getting ready to scrap in the gym. VIIA Hemp has you covered. Their organic hemp is grown without pesticides and harsh chemicals. It's just a real quality product. I really, really enjoy it. Their gummies are also great. Before practice, I like the Elevate gummy to help dial in, or after practice, the Cloud9 to chill out and relax the mind. Check out the link in the description and use code TIM for a clean 15% off. Back to the show. And then we got JDM and Belal coming up. How do you see that bout going?
I think I see that bout really boring the fans. I feel bad for the fans that that's what they get for a title fight. That's just piss poor and two losers in the sport that don't draw flies to shit.
Mm-hmm. So you're number 9 now. You're number 9 now. Is there anyone that you just really love to just beat up right now?
I mean, anybody that has a big name, big fights, whatever the biggest and best fights that I can get done for the UFC, that's what I want to do. We got to see how things are going. There's a couple of people that have been running my name through their mouth, so they can get their mouth shut for sure. But I got to see what the UFC wants to do, and I want legacy fights, big fights, former champions, big high level fights, not guys that are just coming up and just starting to build their name. Because I've been here, I've done that. I'm a world champion. It doesn't matter what my ranking is. I'm the champion of the division. I'm the biggest draw and the biggest star in the division. So, anytime I fight, it's a championship fight. So, we just got to see how the landscape and things play out and how this title fight goes. And then, we go from there.
Mm-hmm. Is there a date you're kind of looking for? Maybe fall?
Yeah, I think, end of summer, early fall. I think that, I want to get into a good training camp. I've been busy with the Ultimate Fighter. I've been traveling around. I'm going to New York today, obviously, as I said, with the Tate brothers. So, I think fall makes sense.
Now, Khamzat DDP, who do you think wins that bout?
I think DDP gets it done. I think his unorthodox style will surprise him. Hopefully, I think he's strong enough to fend off the takedowns. And Khamzat's never been in a 5-round fight. So, I think Khamzat, I think Khamzat gets beaten up.
Yeah, that's one thing you got a lot of experience in is going 5 rounds. And people don't realize how much of a tactical difference it is pacing yourself for 5 rounds. And if Khamzat comes out there the way he does, pedal to the metal, and DDP weathers the storm for the first 2 rounds, I think DDP might take over.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, DDP's strong enough to fend off the takedowns, or maybe he gets taken down, but he has good jiu-jitsu, so he keeps his chin tucked and he gets back to his feet, and then Cumshot's going to be tired. Cumshot gassed in that Gilbert Burns fight, and and that was only 3 rounds, so an extra 2 rounds, championship rounds. I think DDP gets Cumshot out of there.
Now, how about Johnny Bones Jones versus Aspinalls?
Yeah, I don't think John is fighting him. I think he's going to duck him and go into retirement.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
I wonder if Big Hunter and them are trying to make it happen. I believe they might be.
They're definitely trying to make it happen. But you heard that interview with Aspinall yesterday. He's like, dude, I'm done talking about John. They're not getting this fight done until it's signed. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. So you can see the frustration from Aspinall's side. John's ducking. He's trying to ask for an unreasonable price, man. You can't be asking for $40-50 million. You don't draw money to the company like that. So, I think that he's going to end up retiring before he fights Aspinall.
Mm-hmm. So when you're say, let's say 5 weeks out of a fight, how many times are you sparring a week?
The last couple fights, I didn't spar at all. I just, I wanted to make sure I showed up healthy. So I didn't do any sparring.
And when you do spar, do you prefer to spar one person 3 rounds, or do you prefer to have fresh guys on you?
Usually I like fresh guys because I feel like I can get a better look. You know, when I go 1-2 rounds with one guy, that guy always gasses out. So I want to keep that high level and keep a fresh guy in there with me. So usually like 2 to 3 guys.
Any plans on where you're going to do your next training camp?
No plans yet, man. Maybe with you. What do you think?
Yep, come get her ready. Come get ready to fuck somebody up. Yeah, hell yeah. If you're out here, more than welcome to come train. I think he'd like it. We'd get you ready to go. You'd be more than welcome. But you've been hanging out with, you've been in the room with Elon Musk and Trump a few times. What's that been like?
Man, that's been awesome, man. Yeah, I had Thanksgiving, you know, with Elon and Trump. I was at the table right next to him, and I got to chat with Elon for a little bit through my friend Barron Trump. Shout out to Barron Trump. He's the smartest kid I've ever met in my life. He's the future of politics and the Trump family. He's the golden child. So amazing kid. Super, you know, appreciative and blessed to be able to have a conversation with Elon. Elon was telling me, I was like, Elon, what's the future plans? He says he's going to have 1 million people on Mars. That's what he kept telling me. 1 million people on Mars, Colby. And I was like, how are you going to do that, Elon? He's like, I can't get all my secrets, Colby, but, you know, we're going to get it done. So then he was asking me about who my favorite fighters were and just had a great conversation. He's a great guy, smart guy. And yeah, and every time I'm in the room with Trump, he's the funniest guy in the room. He's always a comedian making jokes. You know, he called me 2 weeks ago for my birthday, was chatting me for like 20 minutes. I'm like, Mr. President, don't you have to go solve world peace and world hunger? And he's like, you know, but I got to wish you happy birthday, Colby. So, you know, I love you as a fighter. You're a hardworking American patriot. So, you know, just blessings to have a network like that, because I feel like your network is your net worth.
Yeah, 100%. Being around guys like, I'm sure, like Trump, or even when we get to sit down and have dinner with Dana, you always leave those dinners just fired up and just wanting to get shit done, don't you?
Absolutely. They make you want to run a marathon, you know. Dana, just his creative genius business mind, like every time you listen to him speak, and all these bosses, you know, of America who have been here and you know, reached the capitalist dream to reach the top of the business world, it just inspires you to want to do better. So, you know, they're firing me up and making me want to go to the top to a new level, not just in my career, but in my life.
Hell yeah, that's badass, dude. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you have a good trip with the Tate Bros. And everyone give Colby a follow on Twitch and on Instagram. See what he's got going on. But I appreciate it big time, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you, Timbo. Definitely catch up with you soon. Have a great day, and be well, brother.
Okay, boys and girls, we're back again with the legend Joe Diesel Riggs and the legend Rob Emerson here to join us for the remaining of the show. The interview with Colby Covington, it was good. He's a nice guy. It's always hard to do those interviews when you're when they're in the car. They're in the car. The signal isn't great, but these guys are busy. They're busy, so I'm glad he made the time. Yeah, that was a good show. Colby Covington, I mean, he's having, I think his record, I think he might be 1-3. I mean, he's been fighting the best guys though. He really has. He's been in the UFC for a long time.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
It sounds like he doesn't really have a home to train at. Yeah, 17-5, 37 years old now.
17-5.
But I mean, okay, so he beat up Robbie Lawler, beat up Dos Anjos, beat up Damian Maia, beat up Dong Hyun Kim, fought Brian Barberina, Max Griffin. He was on a serious streak there for a while, and then it got the TKO by Usman. So good talking to him. He's a nice guy. I mean, anymore, every time you meet someone and they're not on the cameras and things aren't going on, they're usually nice. But he knows if he didn't start causing a ruckus,
cut like a lost hair.
If he didn't start causing a ruckus, he would not be making not even 50% of the money he's making now. So that's the hard thing. I mean, especially martial artists. You have martial artists who want to be respectful and they're really skilled. But it's like, well, if you think about it another way, it's like, well, I could make double the money for my family if I create some sort of character that people want to see. I'm going to make double the money for your family.
It's the entertainment industry, like before it's the fight industry, you know what I mean? And they bank on that. Like that's
Colby,
why that's
he's
why
gonna get cut, right?
No. They'll keep him around. He's on a 2-fight win streak.
No, not now. I'm saying before he changed characters, when he made, that's when he was calling those people like Brazilians animals and shit.
Yeah, he was on a big streak, but like not the most exciting streak. And then what in the UFC, he was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak.
Really, a guy like that doesn't matter what he does on the feet. He's always going to look fucking like that. He's always going to look like not like a fucking athlete. I guess.
But then he turned it into where like going crazy. So everyone's tuning in to see him get beat up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, is it worth it when you're making double the money if you make the right investments? Now you're
hated.
He's probably he's laughing. He's sitting back and laughing, dude. Enjoying it, dude.
Yeah, dude, do it too. I mean, it's worth it.
And I mean, Colby, he's around all these guys like Trump, Elon, all these political people. So he's probably putting his money in the right places and being smart about it.
Is he? I don't know him. Is he an actual conservative or is he just? He's actually meeting with Trump and Elon, so I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's like boys with those guys and stuff. So
what kind of money is he making?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Is he making 200? It's hard to say. He's been around for a long time, so you never know how these negotiations go. It's crazy, like seeing it. If you go into the negotiations and you have a manager who's friends with the matchmaker, and you're dealing with the matchmaker for negotiations, and he's friends. He doesn't want to piss that matchmaker off, so the matchmaker is gonna say the number, boom. And you either have a manager who's good at negotiating and smart at bringing up things, not afraid to bring up things, but other people, they're scared to piss off the matchmaker, so they just go, okay.
Who can negotiate?
What's that?
Like, there's only a couple people. I mean, like a handful of guys that can actually negotiate real money in the contract.
Yeah, there really is.
What guys can actually? I mean, obviously Sean can, but I mean, because I've tried to play hardball. I've been told to shut the fuck up, and I've gotten mad because I wasn't got a certain placement in the card. You're lucky you're even.
I wonder how much anymore that they bring social media into it. It's probably got to be a lot, right?
That has to do if you get signed.
No, negotiations of how much more.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, that's.
But part of the person blowing up on social media could be because of the UFC machine. So it's kind of a
I mean, it's obviously
those 3 letters are branded, dude. That's what the UFC is doing different now. I think from like the Pride eras, it's like kind of glorifying the brand, the company instead of like the fighters individually. So the fucking house always wins kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if their names are attached to it.
That when they bought it for the name. You know, like before the Zuffa and Din and Martinez bought it. Ultimate Fighting was the brand name. That was they got it. When they bought it, they got it. Dusty Old Cage and a few contracts, but it was the name that they got. They just made it more. It's gotten more and more and more.
Some of these managers are so greasy though, dude. Some of these managers that like this person just worked their whole life with a family, worked and then trained, and now you're going to try to take 50% of their bonus or 20% of their bonus.
It happens. I mean,
dude,
of their bonus though. It's like, and they're already well off, and they see this fighter with a full family that worked just to make $100 grand.
Because I mean, it's your bonus as a fighter. You're in there by yourself, fucking. Yeah. That is a performance bonus because you're in there. You're gutting it out. You don't fucking. I mean, it's not. I agree with that. So I've never had a fucking manager take a percentage of the bonus.
It's hard for these fighters though. They're 5-0. They're getting by on crumbs, and this manager's like, hey, I can get you in the UFC. Just make sure, just try to get that bonus money negotiated. But it's hard when you're coming up because you're like, oh, if this guy can get me in the UFC, if I give him 20%, big deal. That's more than I've ever made still.
If they're going to take your fucking percentage of bonus, they've never been to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a fight, but I don't think there's no way they could have fought. But they could have been a prize fighter for sure.
If that manager's like, hey, I brought you in 2 different sponsors that are both paying you $4 or $5K a month now.
That's different.
Then it's a little different.
I've always been of the mindset, like when you're paying your manager your 20%, whatever he brings in endorsements outside of the UFC, you have to make at least 10% more than that to be able to justify paying him any fucking money.
But dude, this gym though, Tim, are you serious? Look at this place. This is sick.
Thanks, bro.
You're stoked.
I can just see a silhouette of old red out there, fucking.
Imagine.
It's like your little mob boss running the fucking whole operation from here. You gotta have fucking stogie set up.
How could you not feel good about yourself?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm like, it's a fucking dream. Just especially with the coffee shop too. I'm like, it's a fucking dream.
Is Cal coming here too or no?
They're gonna be next door.
I love
They're getting a new one next door. But still, going back to building a character and building a social media is hard. People think it's really easy. Some people do get kind of lucky and it gets easy for them. But still, you got to be able to post and be vulnerable.
It's hard.
It is hard.
I can't do
like
it.
You could kill it on social media probably just doing funny things or doing.
I just don't. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it. I can't like putting the pen to paper or making the. I just can't.
Like sitting your phone down. putting it in front of you and pressing record and taking a big bong rip and talking about a certain topic and then
Taking a
posting
shit.
it. Could you do that?
Yeah, I could. I just don't know how to do that stuff.
You do.
I don't. I really don't.
But I promise you, it's the easiest thing. It's 3 buttons.
No, don't simplify
No, it's
like
3
that.
buttons.
It's just 3. He wants to make me sound like a mongoloid. What you want
It's
to do?
3 buttons,
It's 3 buttons.
and then it's out there on the internet. So
See,
maybe we'll do a
what
little
I'm worried
tutorial
about
after
is
this.
sending out a video because I know you can go through like the library of your photos and videos and send one out that's just fucking horrible. God.
Yeah, that's a danger. That's a
Yeah.
danger I've come close to doing, and I
Have you really?
got real scared.
Oh, the time.
Yeah.
What you almost did? What was
No,
it?
no, no, no.
Come on, don't do that to me.
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Look,
But still,
crazy stuff.
Rob, the game's changed so fucking much with all these social medias. Like, imagine how big of a star someone like Chuck Liddell would have been on social media back in the day, or someone like, and how much money they would make. The amount of money these companies are throwing around
I don't
now to these
understand.
influencers is insane.
I don't understand how it correlates. I just don't understand like the.
Well, how much?
Shut your goddamn mouth. Sorry about that.
How much would a company that you want to promote pay for a commercial on TV?
Again, I don't even have the slightest.
You just never know. They have to come to them with their viewership and say, okay, 100,000 people are watching my program at this time, so then negotiate a number. But with these social media posts and these reels, when they're getting hundreds of thousands of views, that's just as good as a TV commercial or better.
When commercials are in like on your show, when the commercials are put in there, are they your commercials?
Yes.
Really? Like I'm talking about that when they break away like for commercial, like when they would do for TV shows. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and that's my commercial.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fucking news to me. I just thought those were just random commercials put out there.
Who else would be just a huge fucking star if they had a social media back in the day, like UFC fighters? Some of the big stars, like
That's a fucking good.
maybe like
a guy like fucking
Roger
Tank
Huerta
Abbott
was a
would-
big star.
Roger
I
Huerta?
don't think he was on the platforms or anything like that.
Roger Huerta.
maybe like
Yeah.
back in the day, would a Jens Pulver do good? Maybe BJ Penn. Speaking of BJ Penn, is he fucked up?
What's going on?
I mean, if you don't want to speak on it, you don't have to.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
you could just crop.
Have
he's
you
on,
reached
he's on a
out?
sick one. I think he's on a sick one right now. You know what I mean?
He's on a bender.
I don't know. He lost that governor election, right? He was running for the governor. I
Was
think.
it close? Was he just laughed out of the whole fucking state?
I don't even know.
He was
not
laughed
sure.
out of the state.
But he's just on a sick one ever since, dude. You know,
drugs and
like,
stuff?
Well, no, they said he posted a video that saying a lady took over his mother, and that they took over his mother, and that mother's trying to take his inheritance.
Wait. So what?
So he said a lady is acting as his mother, but I think in the video it was his mom, right?
Yeah,
So
he's
he's just
convinced.
losing
He's
his
convinced that
fucking mind?
like, all of his siblings are all CIA agents and shit, dude. And like,
And is
That's
it
true.
possible?
I talked to him for like an hour and 20 minutes the other night, like last week, and it's just.
And do you try to
it's-
talk him, or you
You've
just
known
try to
him
be
Rob,
a
you've known him
friend?
forever.
You're just trying to be a friend.
I'm just surprised he didn't think like I was in the CIA even, you know, like I'm just trying
That's
to keep,
exactly
I'm just
right.
trying to resort to humor and keep in contact with him. Like, hey, dude, you know, like, and then I'll send little darts to him. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you just got to get healthy. Maybe go on an ayahuasca retreat.
That's
and
crazy.
shit.
But
Like,
That might be the move.
I just want to play. I don't want to fucking, because he thinks everybody's in the CIA.
Dude, the slightest deviation,
it's
he's gonna look at you.
crazy.
He's gonna look at you fucking
It's-
cockeyed. He's gonna think that.
Well, I mean, it's fucking sad, but is that not? I don't think it's CT. That sounds like
I think
more.
it is.
I think that's more drugs.
Well,
Drugs
well,
make
well,
you paranoid
well,
that
CT
someone's always watching you.
CTE is it's the addiction rate is off the charts with that. With same thing with all the addiction. The drugs are a huge part of CTE, a lot. So I mean, then,
And meth is a hell of a drug too, though.
wait, he's on meth.
You never know. That's what I'm saying. You
don't
never know.
know.
But I've been
I
around
can't.
meth people that are very paranoid. There's someone watching me. This person's the CIA. This person's like part of the, what do they call those?
Illuminati.
It's
Illuminati.
prominent. It's prominent there in Hilo where he's from. It's a
The meth,
small, it's a
didn't
super
the
small
dog-
town, and it's prominent there.
They call it ICE or something like that.
Unfortunately, it's a beautiful place. It's crazy. It's like fucking Moana shit. It really is a beautiful. Like you have the Big Island of Hawaii, right? You have Kona on this side, which is like all the people that travel and go visit the full tourist side, all the restaurants and shit.
Hilo's
And then
Big
the other
Island,
side
right?
is Hilo, where it's like all the rainforest and the fucking, but it's a very small country town, and it's the more beautiful, like organic side
There's a lot of
of the
lava
Big
rocks
Island,
there
and
and
there's
stuff.
just a lot of fucking like
The beaches are
meth and
all
shit.
lava rocks, right?
I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah,
why.
yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Dude,
That's
have you ever been there?
No, I'd love to. I've heard about it.
There's a place called the Valley of the Kings, which is like this sacred valley there. Like only royalty lived back then. He had a dojo set up down there. Like it was all open up. It was so sick. So we would just microdose and go fucking train. And his last camp when he fought Clay Guida, I was in that with me and Diego Sanchez were like his sparring partners and training partners for that camp.
So when BJ Penn was getting ready for something like that, he'd pay you guys to come out and train with him.
Yeah.
And this beautiful island with the ocean. And what was would you guys train once a day?
Oh, we did 2 a days. We would do like strength and conditioning a lot of times with the Marinovich brothers, and that whole system's like taken off. It's all about like explosivity and like how talks about the Soviet Union. They train a lot of their boxers for a long time. So for a generation or so, the Soviets are producing a lot of boxing champions. Everything was like explosive training. And that's why I met Marv Marinovich and all those guys. And I hired Tom Marinovich actually to be my strength and conditioning coach, I believe, when I fought Nick Lentz. Towards the end of my UFC career, and then just to pick his brain to see what kind of stuff his dad taught him, because he was like the talent from this training system, and everything was about explosive shit, you know. But yeah,
but so because I remember countdown videos, BJ'd be running underwater with rocks. You guys would be training.
Fuck, it was so fun.
Training on the beach.
It was so fun, dude. It was awesome. It was just a fucking beautiful, special place.
What year was that?
It's
11?
I was in for like 5 camps. I think the Diego Sanchez
like 11,
fight.
like 2011, something around there.
Yeah.
How come you never wanted to move there?
I had my daughters out here. I had my one daughter at the time, and then Cambry, my most recent, had her out here, and that's kind of why I've stayed.
But other than that, if you didn't have your babies, you'd be out there.
For sure. It's different, dude. You're just so connected to the land out there, and you're more present. It's a lot slower pace life, you know, but
at the end of the day, dude, what you should be, peace is what everyone should be fucking after.
It's all just anybody wants. People want to be rich, they want to be good looking. No, you just want fucking peace. That's all you want.
Yeah. Peace and a nice pussy ain't hurt either. You know
yes.
You gotta have a quality
pussy is peace.
And absolutely. Yeah,
definitely need that.
And a bad piece will drive us fucking mad, won't it?
Yes.
Dude, that's good. When I was
it's
in
the devil.
Hilo, you know, like the big island, like I fought that guy Cabbage Career in that Rumble on the Rock show. The morning I woke up, when I was going for a walk on the beach, and they were like, I think it's a state bird, like a sandpiper, big fucking, it's like little sticks. You ever seen them? Like, it's like a big body, little legs. And I don't like birds, so I fucking run at it, and it didn't move. I kicked this motherfucker out in the ocean. Like it was like, you know, that movie Angry
Why were
Birds?
you running at it?
Why would you say?
I don't know. I'll tell you another story after this. So
you don't like birds like
no,
in general?
I don't like. So I ran at it to kick it, but I didn't think I thought it was gonna move, but I kicked it, and then boom, and then it kind of took me by surprise. I hear, "Hey, bro!" I'm like, then fucking just took off. I kicked this motherfucker. It was done.
And one of the locals probably saw.
Yeah. Well, of course I did.
But like on those training camps, would he have a chef that cooks for all you guys, or what would the food situation be like?
Yeah. Big Evan would be there cooking, and dude, I learned some really interesting stuff about him. Like just studying like human health and wellness, like you guys are all on with, you know, like he gave me a really interesting perspective about he would not let anyone in the kitchen when he cooked. He believed like, you know, people's energies and just their moods they were in made them like just vibrate different, and their energy could be absorbed into the food.
Similar to weed, right?
That's a Jewish belief too, right?
Similar to weed,
no one
grows
around
it.
I'm like, dude, that's a he's a master. He's a master of his craft. His craft was cooking for BJ, and he took to that level where he didn't want no one in his workspace. And that kind of tripped me out. I was like, damn, dude, that guy's a man committed to his art. You know?
I'm taking offense to it.
That's fucking sick. It's weird though. That's fucking badass. But it's weird, like someone like BJ has money, big star, animal at martial arts, been through so many tough things in his life. I wonder why if he is dabbling with a little bit of drugs. I wonder why, or could it be from the CT?
Of course. I'm not just rambling
for
over
sure,
here.
it's a combination of things. I think he should go on like a mushroom sabbatical or something like that. You know, a lot of people are finding like these profound effects it's having on just recovering the brain, dude. You know, you can go get stem cells injected in the spine too. What? Right, and it can break the blood-brain barrier and get it in the brain too.
I remember Paul Chek was saying when Sean's brother was dealing with some bad addictions, and Sean's like, I don't know what I can do, and Paul's like, you could go up somewhere really safe and have him do a heroic dose of mushrooms.
Fuck.
And just sit with him and let him see you and stuff. That can. He says has pulled people out of like heavy addictions like that because it's so life changing for them.
I believe that, dude.
Yeah, some profound experience. It just changes them.
It's profound, dude. I don't care who the fuck you are, how tough you are, how big and strong you are, what kind of training you have. the mushrooms will make you bend the knee. They'll make you bend the fucking knee. It doesn't matter who you are, dude. And you're gonna have a crazy shift, in your perception.
Me to bend the knee, though.
It's fascinating.
By bend the knee, it's just gonna cripple.
Like just like consciously, dude. Like you know what I mean. Like it doesn't matter how big your ego is or who you think you are. The mushrooms will speak to you so loudly and show you such profound things. The most I've done was 5. I did 5 grams, and I was kind of disappointed. I heard that was a heroic dose, and to take a lot, I'm like, heroic dose. I was kind of bummed out. It didn't really meet my expectations. But
I did 2 grams, and I was
how'd you feel?
Deep. It fucked me.
Were you kicking on the ground?
Oh, dude, I
don't think
in
I would
dirt.
do well.
Someone like you'd have to.
Good and well wouldn't do well.
You'd have to be with a good group of people where you're comfortable and you're just like, okay, I'm okay.
You'd have to
have you never done them, Joe?
What's up?
Have you ever done them?
Yeah, I got drug off an airplane. I wasn't really. I don't know if it was like I was taking the capsules and stuff.
Oh, right on.
But I obviously I'm a drug addict. I took more than I should. So, but yeah, I was.
Yeah, they're definitely not for that. They're for sit outside around some trees or some animals.
Yeah, I think being under the stars is an important part. There's a lot of like Renaissance era literature that talks about microdosing and the stars and how they're meant to be like work together. It's pretty fascinating. Aristotle, all those guys, Giordano Bruno, all these men, interesting historical figures, have discovered a lot about mushrooms and studying the stars. As like the mushrooms are like a key to this language. It's wild shit.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's cool shit.
It is wild.
Have you heard RFK's son? He talks about his fucking trip. That makes me afraid of it. He was ayahuasca trip. He said he was out there in the ether for thousands of years, and he thought. He said it changed him, fundamentally changed who he is. But is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know if I could do that. I would lose myself.
So I've
take you to another level.
Yeah.
I've had some experiences exactly like he described. Actually, just hearing you say that. I actually haven't done mushrooms since this last time it happened, because the last 4 times I've done mushrooms, I go unconscious, dude. I go out and I have an experience like you just described, and it's not 5 grams. It's literally 1 chocolate bar.
What?
1 chocolate bar.
Which is 2.5.
Which is
2?
Well, no, I'm sorry, not chocolate bar. 1 square. 1 square of the chocolate bar.
And then you pass out.
Maybe sometimes 2, and then I fucking go out. It's like this presence. You like feel it coming on, and I'll go out. I'll go unconscious and shit, and it's crazy. I mean, whoever I'm with, like my girl, the last time I saw it, I was at a restaurant and I fell back and my eyes were open. There was like a light right above the table. And she said she still tried to convince herself she didn't see what she saw. And she said my pupils were like wobbly and like changing shape.
Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah,
but when I came back to, I remember thinking, oh shit, I'm here again. And oh, there she is. Like I came somewhere that was far away and just kind of had options to come back to these other realms or dimension or places. And I chose to come back to this one at that table. And I was like, holy fuck, here I am at this place again. Oh, there's that girl again. As if it was a remembrance of or something, you know?
That's weird. That's weird. I don't know if it's for everyone, but every time I've done anything like that, I've came back once I sober up, and you want to be better. You want to be better as a human. You want to be better to the people around you. You care for the dogs more. You care for the trees and nature more. That's every time I've done it. I don't know if everyone's like that though.
While you're you're in the throes of it, or afterwards?
No, while you're in the throes of it, you're like, holy fuck, like this stuff is all so important.
Do you ever feel like your back's broken or something, or neck's falling off?
When you're going into it, it's a little scary. That's why if you're someone there to say, hey, it's okay, just let it take you. You're gonna come back. Let it go.
Just you saying that would just twist.
You
my
have to
fucking
accept
nips.
it, or it'll be hell, huh?
Yeah. Dude, I will fight it tooth and nail. You know, I couldn't do. I would. Oh God, it's scary to me. It really is. Like when I go out and getting when for anesthesia, I fight it tooth and nail. I don't know why. Just fucking I do it.
How you guys training some upcoming studs now? I see Mario's fighting Cheeto.
Yeah, fuck, it's gonna be a good fight.
Oh fuck, man.
Mario's getting up there in the division too. You know, he's gonna be fighting all names from here on out.
Dude, Mario, I just don't see a way Cheeto can fuck with Mario. Dude,
Fuck
Mario's
no.
better. Cheeto's best positions, Mario's better than him in.
Cheeto he's a dog.
It's 3 rounds though.
Yeah.
Like again, that benefits Mario. It's like Mario's so solid everywhere. And no one. I mean, I'm sure Cheeto has good training, but knowing how he's trained, he's not really training with a team at all. He's just doing privates.
It's not specific stuff.
I'm like, Mario's gonna probably fuck him up.
The only thing Cheeto has is Cheeto has more belief in his hands. You know, he believes in his power, and Mario's got better hands, better everything than him. He just hasn't really
more weapons, and Mario has more weapons and more movement.
It's crazy to me, like it's crazy to me. Merab beat Jose Aldo the same fucking way. He beat it like, but Mario gets so much shit for beating Jose that way. I don't fucking understand.
Does he get a lot of shit for it?
He was. Fucking people were hating.
Was he booed off the stage?
God. It's like, people, you guys don't realize we're fighting for a win bonus.
That hurts. That hurts getting booed out of there.
But also, it's like you can either lean into it or and be like
fuck you.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. You know,
how do you fight Jose Aldo? You know, how would you want to stay in the pocket and exchange with him? You know, like he fought Jose Aldo the way the man did. You got to respect that motherfucker, dude. That's how you fight that man. You know,
exactly.
Like, dude, Mario did. A lot of guys wouldn't be able to beat Aldo. You know.
Yeah, at that point, he's fighting a lot of that of fear. You know, it's just normal. He's a guy. He's fighting a legend. He's watched him knock people the fuck out his whole life.
And dude, when you're fighting someone with 4-ounce gloves and they're that twitchy, you got to be fucking careful. You got to be careful.
Mario came out and smoked him, dude. The first fucking 90 seconds, he was fucking switching stances on him, hitting him high, hitting him low, inside, outside. Aldo couldn't even find him for the first 90 seconds, 2 minutes of that first round.
Dude, the switching, people. My career before I got in the UFC, when somebody would throw a knee and they would step over the lines, I go switch stance. Yep. I made a living off just crack people with that boom, right hook. Over. I mean, I probably have over 20 knockout wins by that bang. Mm-hmm. But I see people that are recklessly switching at the gym. They don't switch at the. I mean, that's the distance. It's at the frame they do it. Not everyone. There's about 5 or 6 guys that do it habitually. They switch in the fray, in the dead zone. You can't do that.
I feel like if you can, and it's not everyone, because everyone's a different level athlete and everyone's got different eyes. But if you can learn how to properly punch in one stance and properly back up in one stance and properly move in one stance and really perfect one stance first, then it might transfer over to the other one. Yes. But before you even know how to throw a proper right hand or a proper combo and bring your feet with you, people are falling into that opposite stance, and that's how they're getting busted up, I think.
It's very bad. I mean, what Tim just said is fucking exactly right. You want to fucking make sure that shit's down packed before you start.
If you're a really, maybe a 25er, I mean, 25ers nowadays, some of them crack. But if you're a 25er or a girl, you can get away with that because you can wear these shots from these girls or these small people, and it's okay. You can switch stances all day, throw long combos, eat a shot, and be okay. But the bigger weights, you can't fucking eat one.
Yeah, I'm going with Ang Ho tomorrow. Actually, do his fight, the LFA out.
You got one?
He's a 125er that just fucking.
Let's go.
Lights. He brings like lightweight power, featherweight power down to the 125 pound.
Yes,
I
it's like
Angel. I'm sure you guys saw him on the Contender Series. Took a tough fight, made a just small mistake, got cracked. But wait till you guys see this kid. This kid will be back in the UFC soon, and he'll knock people the fuck out. All his fights will be exciting and it'll be sick. Just got to make sure that someone like that doesn't have all their best wars in the gym.
Fucking right, dude. Right on the goddamn money, Tim. 100%. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys, got a lot of really good guys leave the best times in the gym.
He goes to war when he spars every round.
Yeah, dude, it's hard because you want to be competitive but it's like, man, you got to be fucking smart about those.
But it's not their fucking job. It is the fucking coach's job. That's whose job.
Again, like the coach can say what he wants, but then they start getting into it, and you're like, "Fuck." Smart people. I mean, there's an art of sparring. You can spar competitive, but you got to remember, like the only minutes that matter is those minutes that you're in the cage.
Absolutely.
So going in there, it's like fuck, but you do get benefits out of hard sparring that you get out of healthy.
But look at Max Holloway had that one whole camp where he did zero sparring and still went out there and fucking performed and won. Zero sparring, you know. Once you get to that level, I think it is more mental reps and just sharpening of the tools and
that hard sparring early on though, it kind of makes you like it proves to you what you are.
Yeah.
Again, the rites of passage are important in the sport. You know what I'm saying? The different levels, like to be able to weed the fucking weak gimps out, you have to fucking bang them out, you know?
Yeah, I think 10 years at least of fucking hard sparring experience, and then you can start tailoring and tapering it.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I mean, I think you do taper when you get older, but I get a lot out of work. I get a lot out of 60% work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm able to try new things and not kind of lock down and being so fucking fight or flight.
I mean, you're a real vet though. You've been in there a lot.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful when you get these good athletes in the room that they don't fuck each other up.
Yep.
It's probably the hardest sport to avoid that in. Number one, I feel like.
Without a doubt, it's territorial pissing. You know, they want to look good in front of the coach, their training partners, and them. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a fucking not a team sport. Even though the lab is a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's and Tim, you guys are starting. You guys are. That's rare though.
Yeah.
So it's almost every man for himself. Like fucking Ang's he's the captain hook with that one.
Yeah, he's going no matter what you say. He's going
coming
to
right
war
to your
every
fucking
time.
tits.
Him and Abdul throwing down. There's some fight of the night.
Every round. Absolutely. Round 1 warm-ups could be fight of the night performances in the UFC.
These guys will they'll fucking crack each other.
Dude,
Both get
I trip out all the time. As a coach now, I'm kind of just sit back and watch the rounds as opposed to participating in them now. And I get to trip out on the quality rounds there are. Like, dude, people would pay a fucking pretty penny to for those, you know, put the lights and the cameras on them. It's a fucking high level UFC fight.
Oh, for sure.
It makes me sad though, because I see it and it's life being taken away from them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're given all these wonderful fucking rounds where it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And just, I mean, it's up to you guys to communicate it.
Yeah.
Communicate it, make them understand it. It's like, it's hard though. You get dinged once, like, all right, I'm gonna fucking ding your bitch ass now.
I would go into practice every day. We're not gonna kick it off. We're not
ding. Like, back on.
Who had like the hardest sparring out of all the gyms you guys have been to?
The lab is pretty fucking bad. Pat Miltich Fighting Systems for sure.
Oh yeah.
When me and Robbie would like this guy Roy Markham, me and Robbie would run Robbins and Pat would be like, before sparring, he would say, I better see 3 or 4 people flat on their fucking back out today.
Jesus.
And fucking, I'm like, oh. And there was this guy with no fucking legs, Nick, I think I told you about that. That guy that was like a 220-pound torso. Mm-hmm. He had worms behind his legs. His legs were taken off in a lawnmower accident or something like that. That guy, when I think of Pat Militich gyms, I think of fucking no legs Nick.
Just cruising around.
Yeah, well, dude, because he walked in, he had these stilts on. He was like 6'7", just a fucking specimen of.
He's like Krang from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, which Ninja Turtles?
Krang.
Oh, kind of, yeah. It was. He was on his knees. It looked like, but then it looked like he had like foot-long shoestrings that were just like hanging behind him. Like after practice, I was in the shower pissing, and he comes and looks at me. He goes, "Really?" I'm like, "Oh,
really?"
But dude, he fucking fucked me up. Like he.
Why are you doing sound effects? I'm trying.
Yeah.
So he double legs.
So he was a two-time JUCO national champion. So fucking this motherfucker.
They got those guys with 1 leg or 2 legs. They got weird finishes.
He just
they can fuck you.
I've never touched a man even near his strength.
Really?
He fucked me, and then
he's on top. He
took me down, fucking ankle locked me before my ass even hit the ground, and
wrist rode you.
He fucking snapped me down. Yeah, and then the worst thing about it, this motherfucker just would pick me up. He was horrible. And then he would triangle people. He would take his stumps, drive them right into your fucking carotid artery and pull your head down. The guy meant business. And then fucking.
I wonder if he's still around.
Fuck, man, dude.
Get him on the pod.
I wish oh my god, dude, he's a beautiful man. I'll tell you that.
Is he a good looking guy?
If those legs didn't fucking betray him, he would have been something else. Mm-hmm. I mean, he fucking. He's 6'7" with fucking. I think he's like 5'6" with no fucking legs.
That's crazy.
Guys are fucking. Well, if you're watching this, you're a beautiful man.
Well, we got to get in contact, have him on the pod, get some stories.
His last name?
Bro, we got low percentages of knockouts though at the lab. As far as like how many violent rounds there are, we do a good job at like preventing
KOs.
Knockouts and concussions. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, every gym's pretty. I haven't seen too many gyms that are too crazy, like knockouts. Like
I was at King's for a while, like 7 years, I think, and I think every sparring practice someone got knocked out.
KO.
Like asleep?
What would Corderos tell everyone before sparring?
Asleep. It's just glorified, I think, the hard sparring, dude, you know, because it comes from that shootbox style of fucking. He just walks around and quietly, you know, compliments guys' training and just.
But he never tells no one to pipe it down.
Oh, absolutely not. Oh, no way. No way. And like Vanderlei comes in there and Shogun, and like if you catch Vanderlei, he'll snap and try to like fucking.
Oh, I'm sure Vanderlei. Back in the day, too.
Berserk, dude.
Vanderlei.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck. Back in the day for him was like a decade ago, huh?
Back in the day, where a little bit of juice was.
Oh yeah, big time. All those guys from Pride, when they made that transition into the UFC, all of them, their performance was not the same. You can tell there was some performance enhancement going on because they were not as aggressive, they weren't as angry, they didn't take shots as, you know, like.
Well, I mean, if they're doing it in Pride, would they be stupid not to do it? I think so. If you're doing it in Pride, where it's like, okay, hey, you guys can get enhanced and fight. You'd be dumb not to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Even if you didn't want to, you have to even the playing field. I mean,
exactly.
If I ever was going to take steroids, which I've molded over before, and it's always been that. Like I'm getting ready to fight. Like when I was going to fight Phil Brody, that guy was just juiced out of his gourd. So do that. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I would always, just like you said.
Yeah, especially if you're able to, like, okay, you're 34, 35, like probably was around their age, and you take these supplements, you can fucking recover and train 2 times a day, 3 times a day. But when you're at that age, it's like 1 time a day, you got to recover for fucking 2 days.
Fucking bend over, but it's, I think, in my opinion, it's the benefits you get in recovery. You're able to do more. It's not even what it does for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's because I've always been like that. When I worked out, like when I get back into camp, I would be 23 years old. The next day, first day of camp, I'm bent over, dragging my legs to the fucking bathroom. You know,
dude, how sick was Pride though? Pinning the heads down, just punting motherfuckers in the head like that.
Dude, it would change the game so much that people can't. I mean, Aljo, he does it. He'll shoot into a front headlock just to sit there in the front headlock and breathe and not get his fucking head just kneed into his spine.
It's not realistic, you know.
Yeah, the front headlocks, that would change the game a lot.
God, getting kneed on the top of the head, that cabbage, you need right at the top.
Heath Herring used to fucking knock a lot of guys out with that from that position. So you were sparring Vanderlei and you cracked him and he just came to kill you? One of the times, there's like 45 seconds I remember in the round, and I caught him fucking good right in the mouth, dude.
Right in the puss?
And he went berserk, dude. I remember he went berserk for like 45 minutes and tried to fucking...
Looked like
you can
him
tell when you're
Hendo.
covering how much effort a guy's putting into it. He was max effort. He was trying to take me out, dude.
This little motherfucker fresh
fucking
after a bump too. Like,
fuck that motherfucker. You know who else did that shit to me? Josh Barnett.
That's a scary one.
He was like a bit bully in his gym, dude. He would tee off on everybody.
And he's big.
Huge bully. He's huge. And I kicked him in the mouth one time. I remember seeing blood fly out of his mouth and thinking, oh, fuck. We'll see. And he did not. He treated me like I was a fucking middleweight, a heavyweight dude.
Josh is fun.
Just like tried to kill.
He's a stud, man.
He'd be a good one to have on the pod.
You want me to call?
Josh Barnett would be crazy.
I know Josh. Yeah, that's a good. He's a smart guy. So which one's the bald one?
John. No, that's Jeff. No, it's John.
Oh, he's all right. Good night. So his name's, what's his name? I'm very gullible.
John Downhart.
Is he good?
He knows his shit. I mean, people who sit there, who've done it in the past, maybe have competed, maybe haven't, but they've been in the room a lot and they are so passionate about it that they go home and study the arts. They're going to be smart. They're going to see different positions and be able to call things out.
You know, Matt Hume is a fucking genius, man.
Yeah, he's one I really wish I could have trained with one day.
You didn't train with him? As far as being from up there like that. But he's fought like, pancrase fights, but he gets in there and fucking puts the gloves on, spars Josh, spars everybody. I mean, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's
a very smart guy.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah. Who else has big fights coming up? I know I have David Clay. He's going to be doing his pro debut. I know Ezra and Tommy, we're going to get them one more win before they get contender shots. And then who else from the lab we got coming up?
Mario's fighting.
Mario's the big fight. Any in the UFC?
Trayshawn Gore's fighting. He's fighting coming up.
Yeah, Trey.
A guy you know or not?
The guy only had one fight in the UFC, but the guy this should be a fucking easy fight for Trey. Honestly, the guy's slow. I mean, he's not like slow, but he doesn't have that fast switch muscle.
And not great wrestler, not great jiu-jitsu.
Nope. All he has is a pole counter. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you taking questions today with these fucking things?
No. We're just spouting it.
When they're not gay questions, they're nice.
I know, and a lot of them are.
For gay questions?
Just like weird, just crazy questions. Just getting crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, there's lots of guys. I mean, the group I'm building here, it's a young group. It's a young, hungry group, though, that they're just living broke and they're just on the grind. It's good. There's so many good guys at the lab, too. You guys got, I don't know how you guys got 40 guys a part of the fight team or 50? Maybe even
50, dude.
Closer to 50 in the room, which is crazy.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we'll continue on next week. We'll make sure to have Rob on again and then brother Joe Diesel Riggs. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button and comment your thoughts below. Always enjoy hearing them. And I feel like this pod could be fucking 3 hours long, but I got to go do some shit. So thanks for coming, boys. Love all y'all. Bye-bye.